small lens.
Hi there. Welcome to another episode of At Large with Mike Corthell and Caroline Grimm. I'm Caroline Grimm, and Mike is again manning the camera for us. Today we're at the beautiful Waterford Library, and we are talking with author and local celebrity Walt Bannon. He's been here today talking about a book that he wrote about his mother's life story. So Walt, welcome.
Thank you.
And now, would you like to tell us why you wrote a story about your mother?
Well, it's one of those things that sort of falls into your lap when somebody has a background like my mother did with World War II, and the story just had never gotten out. And I thought it was important to write the details of the story and get it out there and present it and be a part of that story that was still hidden after 75 years.
So your mom, I actually knew your mom. She's passed away just a couple of years ago. And she's a little tiny lady.
Yeah.
She makes me look tall, which is nice. And just very positive and kind of like a little glint to her, mischievous a little bit. And she was a lovely lady. And we who knew her, that didn't know her background, were all very surprised to find out that she had basically a lifelong grudge against a man who she said ruined her life. And that man was?
Well, you've heard of Adolf Hitler.
Well, I mean besides you ruining her life. But yes,
another man.
A man named, what?
Yes, a man named Adolf Hitler
Yeah.
had destroyed her village. When the Nazi occupation came into Belgium, they basically took her entire life. And we didn't realize that that was a life that she considered destroyed or ruined until she began to go through a traumatic experience here where she fell and broke her hip. And the pain of the past in her life just started to come out. And it was important for me to capture that. It wasn't easy to capture it because she was still in some way living that pain out, but I thought it was important to do. And you met her. She was usually a jovial woman, but I think there was a lot that had never been talked about. And so we did, as much as possible, we tried to capture that story of her life.
And it's such an important story because of the current times that we're going through, where we have a lot of difficulties going on that have a bit of an echo of that time in history. And one of the things you mentioned in your talk was, or I think it was in the song that you wrote about the book, was we say never again. But you can see the beginnings of it already. And it's so important to get a story like this out. It reminded me a lot, of course, of Anne Frank.
Yes.
The same period of time, and a young girl with a story to tell. And the name of the book is The White Pocketbook. And can you tell us about The White Pocketbook?
Well, the White Pocketbook was in my mother's belongings when she moved to Bridgeton to recover and stay with me for about a year. And because I found that White Pocketbook in her belongings, I felt like it should probably it would be a good title for the book. The White Pocketbook was in her belongings as a little girl. When her home was destroyed in Belgium, everything was lost, including the White Pocketbook and everything that might be in a young girl's White Pocketbook at the age of about 14. So when that was recovered and returned to her about 6 years after the war, when Belgium was being rebuilt, that was returned, and it was just an amazing thing that this previous pre-war life inside the White Pocketbook was brought back.
So it's a fantastic story. It's called The White Pocketbook. All the local libraries here have it. You can also get it on Amazon and at Bridgeton Books. Fantastic story about a life that was touched by great world happenings. So thank you very much,
Well, thank
Mr.
you,
Bannon.
Caroline, author and friend. Nice to be here.
And we'll see you next time on At Large.